We also have representative for Full Authority of Liberia. We also have representative from the Forestry Development Authority of Liberia. Ladies and gentlemen, now the list goes on. That is our greatest enemy. We'd like to use this time to say you are most welcome. You are very much recognized because of the level of coordination that provided by the National Food Assistance Agency that made us to reach this far to launch our strategic plan that leads us from 2026 to 2030. I said that you are most welcome, and your presence here is very important. And of course, you work along with us from the technical review from the validation now to the launching. You are recognized. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That is the Deputy Director General of Operations on the SDC, the National Food Assistance Agency. Let's put our hands together for me, please. As the recognition was going on, the country rep for the United Nations Development, UNDP in Liberia, arrived here. Is Mr. Louis Cooper. You're welcome. Then we also have our Assistant Minister of the Congress. Congress has served on the board as a member. He's also here. Let's put our hands together for him. Dignitaries are arriving, and I think the recognition of our guests will not end after this speech. I will do as much as I can to recognize them as they arrive. We're moving on to the next item on the agenda, and it has to do with the special statement and presentation of NFAA final 5-year strategic plan. And the plan runs from 2026 to 2030. And before I call on the person that will do this, I just want us to reflect on leadership. From our reading over the years, I've come to believe that leadership has two boost words. The first one is cost, and the next one is effect. I've come to the understanding that leadership is cost. Every other thing that follows is effect. Whether bad leadership or good leadership, you can know from the effect. That's why the Bible said from their fruit. Know them. What we're witnessing today is the fruit of leadership. And I want to say hats off to the Director General of the National Food Assistance Agency, Honorable A.M. Salif, who will do the special statement and presentation of the 5-year strategic plan. Let's put our hands together.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. I'm Charles Smith, representing the President of the Republic of Liberia, Senator Western Milton Finley, representing the National Legislature, Mr. Dele Akwe, representing the Minister of Agriculture and Chairman of the Board, NFAA, Mr. Louis Cooper, who's representing the United Nations Development Program, and all our friends and partners. Would like to say thank you for coming today. As we develop a national strategic plan for NFAA, we have to say thank you to everybody, because this was not a one-person effort. It was based on consultation with other stakeholders. But what I'd like to
bring to your attention. NFAA has an act now which makes it legal, but it has been around since the 1970s. And in this room, I am very sure if we ask people who went to school in the 60s and 70s, if they benefited from school fee, we'll see a lot of hands being born. Because as young legally as NFAA is, it's also old to been around. And one of the things that in our core value that we're stressing will be integrity and inclusion. Knowing the history and seeing the facts from the World Bank, from WFP, from UNDP, from the Ministry of Agriculture, you see that our 5.5 million population, we are told that 2/3 of that is in abject poverty. And one of the reasons for NFAA is to help raise people from that level. Our aim is to not let a child go to sleep hungry or go to school without meals. Because most of us here in, like I said, know the feeling when a child goes to school and haven't eaten. They don't develop, they don't listen. So NFAA stands in that gap to control and straighten up what should be done. The strategic plan is in alignment with the AAIE of the government of Nigeria. Agriculture as the backbone of the country, we are there to bring farmers and consumers together to help to change the taste and the eating habit of people. Because when you ask a Liberian person, they tell you, say, I'm not eating all day, it's because they have not eaten rice. But we are here to help to change that. In the little time that we've been in position, the two delegates and myself and the staff, we have tried to diversify the food that we donate. And we are here today again, while launching this program, is to call on all development partners and individuals to look at the NFAA as that arm where you cannot reach as the last mile, where we will carry the food for you. We want you to thoroughly go through the strategic plan and be critical. Tell us what you think about it, how we can improve, because it's a matter of improvement. We'll use the theory of change if we have to. So on this note, I'd like to say thank you very much, and that we are here now that will officially launch the National Strategic Plan for 2026. Thank you.
I will not tell you to clap for my DG. Well said. And that is our parents, DG, Honorable Dr. K. We now moving on to special remark and launch. And this will be done by the board chair himself, Honorable Dr. J. Alexander Nuta, who we understand is being represented here by Honorable Weah from the Ministry of Agriculture. Let's put our hands together as a country with special remark and launch.
Honorable Chancellor, Mr. President, Honorable Minister of Desert Affairs, Senator Douglas County, Honorable President of the UNDP, the Chair of the Director General of NFAA, Honorable Dr. Saeed, Assistant Minister I'd like to recognize you. I'd like to recognize Justice being called, I find that we have a host of other dignitaries here, so I'd like to recognize everybody on this occasion. On behalf of Dr. J. Alexander, Minister of the Ministry of Agriculture, I bring you warm and sincere greetings on this day. Let us say we are highly delighted and happy to be at this lunch. I just wanted to bring about the joke, because I see that everybody seems so very serious. Yesterday, I was called upon again by the Honorable Minister representing the launch of another strategic plan. And that was being launched by the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. So I had gone there with the expectation that I was going to make a little speech. So then I wrote my speech. But unfortunately, I was never called to make that speech. And so I got a little bit frustrated. And I was running back to the office when I checked my phone. Another text message: tomorrow, please represent me the launch of another strategic plan of the NFAA. So then I said to myself, then I've got the opportunity to deliver my speech. But on behalf of the minister, let's actually thank you, Weah, for this great initiative. You and your team, all the staff of NFAA, I would like you to just clap for yourself for this great initiative. I am always excited to actually participate in the launch of a strategic plan. And I underscore that name, strategic. It's not just there for the sake of being there. Most of the entities, including the NFAA, we have got mandate areas that we need to execute. And if you look at the entire overall mandate of the NFAA, is written down there, the pathway to zero hunger in Liberia. If we are able to achieve zero hunger in Liberia, it means that we will have significantly contributed to the SDG 2, zero hunger in Liberia. So when I was sitting, I was actually looking at something there. This will be a very good team for this strategic plan. Now, all of our strategies should be aligned with actually meeting this particular goal of, if we can get zero hunger, but if we are able to significantly reduce hunger in Liberia, will be a good thing for all of us. So I'd like to thank you. I just wanted to say something from the minister this morning. The minister said to me, the entire core, or one of the core features of executing a strategic plan, because a plan is not just intended for us to draft a plan for the need or sake of drafting a plan. It's for the plan to serve as a compass to direct us as to what we intend to do. And we should be very, very intentional about these documents that we are drafting, so that they guide us to do what we are called to do. Then I said to myself, then how do we implement the plan? How are we to know that we are actually implementing the plan? So one of the core features I pick up from there is to have a strong monitoring and evaluation process that will lead to us monitoring all of our steps, all of the goals we set, the steps we have to take, the KPIs or the key result areas. We have to monitor everything to make sure that we are implementing the strategic plan according to what we have actually populated in there. So, Mr. Salih, I'd like to call on you sincerely, please if you have never been supporting the division of the Department of Monitoring and Evaluation at the NFAA, it's about time now that we support that particular unit in order to be able to monitor the implementation of this particular plan. We don't want it drafted and just placed on the shelf because maybe some requirement for us, maybe the PMCS, the Performance Management Contract says we should draft strategic plan, so we draft it. It's not all about that. It's about the implementation aspect of this plan. So we're going to call on you to please focus your attention on the implementation plan of this particular strategic plan, because it happened at the Ministry of Agriculture. I was driving the process of actually developing our strategic plan. My attention was, how do we implement what we are putting in that document? And so I had to call my M&A specialists, I had to call other people, planning and policy people, to say, can we design a roadmap of this particular plan? How we intend to implement it? So we want to call on you to please take that step. As board chair on behalf of the we will be actually, we ourselves will be monitoring the processes that you will take to implement this plan. So I'd like to thank you. I don't want to keep you all here for a long period because we have a host of other people that are supposed to be coming up. But before I come to the launch of the plan, I understand one of my seniors from the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Crystal, is here. Dr. Crystal, if you are here, I'd like to wholeheartedly recognize you and say thank you for coming. I appreciate seeing you. When you here after, I really like to pass by to speak to you personally and recognize you in this gathering as one of my seniors. Having said that, let me call upon Dr. Toe to join me at the podium. Call on Honorable Leadership, please join me up on the podium. Ambassador Smart, please join me up on the podium. UNDP, please join me up on the podium. Then FA and Minister of Commerce, kindly join me in helping to launch this particular document. I'm called to do it, but I also want to transfer this to my board senior to kindly launch this particular document on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, the NFAA in particular. Thank you.
Let me start by thanking Deputy Minister Weah, not only for recognizing me, but for the singular honor of requesting me to undertake the launch. One thing I wanted to say first of all is that in Senator Feeney, the Ministry of Agriculture, the agricultural sector, the food sector of this country has a leader friend. Whether it was in 2006 when it was senator, whether it was in 2012 or 2014 or so when he was foreign minister, and even now he is still with this sector. Not only does he advocate, but he's also doing it. So I want to first of all give him that recognition. On behalf of the Minister of Agriculture, who happens to be the chair of the NFAA, on behalf of his able staff, on behalf of the office of the President and my good friend Charles Netter, I take this opportunity to declare the strategic plan Pathway to Zero Hunger 2026 to 2030 launch.
Thank you, Dan. But before we take our seat, I think we want to hear this word. Yeah, well, while we are standing here, we just like to hear from the office of the president. So you will come up officially to say, well, here, I just want to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's indeed an honor to be here standing representing the leader of the Republic of Liberia. I'm supposed to make a short statement, but I just want to add my voice to the voice of the Deputy Minister to say it's a pleasure and an honor to stand amongst giants in this area, especially Senator Finley, who has become a great farmer. He hasn't forgotten his root. And of course, my own friend and brother, Dr. To, who I'm so happy to see back home. And I want to say congratulations on behalf of His Excellency for this great job that you all have done. And we look forward to saying a few words later on. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was it. And we'd like to thank everybody. Over to the MC.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister. Honorable Weah. Let's put our hands together and thank you. Whilst the remark at the launch of the strategic plan of the National Assistance Agency will be done, and we will see in the hall Councillor Clar, for the access to property. Let's put our hands together for the Okay, we now come to this juncture where we will invite the office of the office of the President of the Republic of Liberia for special remark. So we call on Ambassador Snell for that.
The Director General, Weah Salif, Senator Isabel Finley, Deputy Minister Akwe, our special friend from the international organizations, Dr. To, members of this great agency, special guests, my dear friends in the media, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor for me to stand here at this moment representing His Excellency Joseph Boakai, the President of the Republic of Liberia, who regrets for not being here to launch this all-important program. He is currently having his cabinet meeting at the Executive Mansion. And when they called on me to represent him, I had to jump to it to be here. You know, when you serve your country, you must be like in the army, be ready to get out there at the last moment. His Excellency, you know, is an agriculturalist. This is something that is very, very close to his heart. It's something that he talks about every moment. If he had been here today, I think you would have asked him to please take a seat, because he would have gone on and on and on. But I want to say in this short manner, congratulations to the National Food Assistance Agency for coming up with this wonderful plan. I have a copy here, even though it's not signed by the chairman, but I know that at the right moment, a signed copy will be presented to His Excellency. But this one is going to be the one that I will hand over to His Excellency, showing him in advance what is coming. So I want to say congratulations to you all, and I pray and I hope that the aim of making sure that we have zero hunger in this land of liberty, Liberia. It's been a long time, and I think we can do it. Thank you so much, and have a good lunch here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Snyder, for the office of the Chief Executive of the country. We are now entering our last session, but to begin with, we will invite Senator Weah to start the last session.
Thank you. First of all, let me give thanks and praises to Almighty God for all of us being here today. Ambassador Snyder, Executive Minister, Director General, heads of government agencies, representing the Vice President's office, our international partners, late Dr. Crisco, we worked together from 2006, staff and members and friends, citizens of Liberia. I'm delighted to be here today because I consider myself in three categories. One is academic. I'm a little there when it comes to the academic side. Practically, I'm a politician. But I'm a practical farmer. And not by academic, or maybe by accident. Growing up as a child, my parents had a farm, visited the farm. Living in the yard, back gardens were there. But I see today that we no longer value planting in our backyard, pepper, okra, field greens, and eating in our neighborhoods. So when you say, I ran through your strategic plan as the Director General, and I saw that you are now going to focus on providing Liberian food, different kinds of food rather than staple rice. I also saw one issue that I want to flag, the issue of donor confidence. I hope we can move away from donor confidence to Liberian confidence. I hope we can focus on building that Liberians, farmers, so that we no longer will depend on donor confidence or donor funding. It's about time our country start to move in that direction, that each and every one of you, in your backyards, when you leave from here today, will decide to plant potato greens, pepper, food that we can consume on a daily basis. So I applaud you, Mr. Director General, for this step that you're taking, and will be fully supportive of you. But as a politician and as a senator, I must say to you, I listened to your deputy introducing this program. And he talked about $40-something million, 42, 41, 42. That's roughly $8 million a year for the next 5 years. I didn't hear, and I have not completed the program, reading the strategic program. I'm kind of read the first 10 pages of 12 pages. And I'm worried if you will be able to achieve the goal. How will you raise $8 million a year. In your budget, I don't think you got $2 million. You? So I'm going to be practical. And maybe this is why you will be relying and depending on donors. But I think you got a tough job ahead of you, to liaise with the legislature to increase their budget. Because in the absence of funding, I do not see how you're going to succeed. And I'm a practical politician. So I'm a little bit worried, but I will support your efforts. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you in the shortest possible time to present this program to the legislature so that you can start preparing for funding. This year budget, 2026 budget, we got less than $2 million. 2027, I'm not sure you will get $2 million. But we need to start to see how we can raise the funds to be able to support zero hunger in Liberia. With that said, I will stop here. I know that politicians intend to talk long. I have sessions, so I ask all of the dignitaries to please give me special dispensation so that after I speak, I can run. But I want to say to all of us, to continue to pray for our nation, the leadership of our nation, the president, the vice president, the speaker, the judiciary, and let God give them wisdom, knowledge, but especially patience to be able to bring relief to the people of Nigeria. May God continue to bless all of us.
Thank you. That's one. Senator President of Finland. Let's give it up for him again for the instruction. All right, now the announcement session of remarks. And as you see on your agenda, your organizers, we allotted 2 minutes each to participant will be speaking between remark here, 2 minutes, and will be guided, not rigorously, with some flexibility, but my facial movement will tell you that time. So let's be aware of that. Why the session of instead of speaking, Honorable Georgette Gray from the Food Authority of Liberia. I don't know what's the acronym. Is that 4 or 5? FAL, or it doesn't have the acronym because I'm pretty sure that can be pronounced in terms of the acronyms, right? So it's just FAL. So Georgette Gray, welcome. All right, we will take a remark from the office of the Vice President, Madam Clement. Naomi, Yvette, Yvonne, 2 minutes.
Permit me to stay on existing protocol. It is indeed an honor to be representing the Honorable Jeremiah Cameron, Office of the Vice President. Let me extend my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the office for the invitation extended to us from the development of this document all the way up to the launch. We are here today. Thank you very much. The office, especially the Scale Up Nutrition, I don't know if some of you have heard of some Scale Up Nutrition. We are seated under the office of the Vice President. We want to extend our appreciation for the continued effort in promoting nutrition outcomes in Liberia. And we look forward to more coordination of such movement in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clement. I think you are in time. Thank you for that effort. We move on to FAO as a food and agricultural organization of the United Nations of Liberia. Gloria, welcome.
Thank you. Further reply in case you tell me times, I would be scary. Anyway, my name is Roger Balipo Jr. I'm here to make a speech on behalf of the FAO representative, Interim, Mr. Said Abubakar Said. Because of time, permit me to stay on existing protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Permit me also to congratulate all Liberian women, especially women farmers, as we celebrate International Women's Day on tomorrow. And continue to celebrate the year of the women farmer as declared by the United Nations for this year 2026. It is also a profound honor to join you today in Moreover as we celebrate the launch of the National Food Assistance Agency. You know, the funny thing was, most often we see the NFAA abbreviation, we also want to visit our NFAA. But at least today we are doing that. This plan represents a bold vision and step forward in Liberia's journey toward achieving food security, resilience, and self-resilience for all of its people, especially the most vulnerable. As the FAO representative in Nigeria, I'm particularly proud of the role that the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations can play in supporting the development of this strategic framework. Through our close collaboration with the government of Nigeria and the NFAA, FAO has provided resources to ensure that this plan is not only comprehensive but also aligned with global best practices. Our support has been guided by the shared goal of transforming Liberia's food system to be more inclusive, sustainable, and responsive to the needs of the vulnerable community, especially in the face of challenges like climate change, economic pressure, and the lingering impact of past conflict. The NFAA, established as a authority agency last year, has critical mandate to coordinate food assistance. Today, FAO wants to renew a pledge that she will be willing and available to renew this pledge. Because of time, I will thank you so much.
Thank you FAO in Liberia. We will now quickly welcome WFP as the World Food Program of the United Nations in Liberia, and representative from WFP. All right, we was here last week for the validation. Is he anybody here today for the launch? Okay, we'll move on to UNTP, the mark from the UNTP Liberia. Let's put our hands together for the
Good morning. I think I've learned very fast in Liberia that we can always stand on the existing protocols. Especially when we don't have time. So we're standing on the existing protocols. And I would like to take a moment to congratulate the National Food Assistance Agency for this moment. As UNDP, we have seen a lot of transformation happening. Yesterday, I was at the launch of the Minister of Finance 5-year strategic plan. And I see these documents as not just policy documents, but social contracts that you are signing with the population. They are instruments of accountability. They are social contracts that you are signing with the people that are going to deliver this in 5 years. As UNDP, we are proud to have been part of this journey. The whole of last year and year before, we thought that it was important and imperative for us to invest in revamping this important institution. When I was growing up and going to school, I used to go to school sometimes because I knew that I could get a hot meal to eat. And that is one of your cardinal roles, to keep children in school and make sure that they have good health and they can, as we continue to support, Liberia becomes resilient, self-sufficient. That is our commitment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. And those were really assuring us. Let's put our hands together for the we want to invite the LFDP, the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Mr. Baby. You're welcome. LFDP is from NFAA co-chair.
Thank you. Let me also stand on against any protocols. Just hope you saw when one of our queen was calling the Honorable Hot Table to join, and when he mentioned the Minister of Commerce, I'm like, okay, the Minister of Finance is nice because all of these strategic plans across the government, we as a ministry have to ensure that we mobilize the budgetary allocation. And then we left the Ministry of Finance, okay. So apparently NFAA has not considered the role of the Ministry of Finance. But I know NFAA is fully aware of that. We are grateful at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, first to bring the greeting to our Honorable Minister, Honorable President Weah Farm, who is at the cabinet meeting as we speak. The Ministry of Finance and Development Planning has been hugely engaged with this process since last year. That shows the emphasis that the Minister played on this process. And so we have been following closely the strategic plan that we said, 42 million. The plan speaks to 30% in terms of national budgetary allocation and 7% from our DPs and development partners. Minister of Finance talking about 8 million per year, that will be around 8.4 million actually on an annual basis within 5 years. Like our minister always said, there are competing priorities across government, and so it's always good that at the level of the marks, they are strategic, realistic, and achievable goals that the government may be able to form. And so the Minister of Finance will continue to work with NFAA, ensuring that we increase national budgetary allocation to food assistance and nutrition. But what is also important to note is that the statement made by Honorable Finance, even though he already done, but it's very important to ensure that engagement with the national legislature that we know that approve the budget. So it's good that the team at NFAA continue our engagement and also support our own work at the level of the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. So again, just want to thank you for this process, and the ministry remain engaged with NFAA as we implement this plan over the next 5 years. Thank you.
2 minutes exact. Thank you. We will invite now Honorable Director for Clar for the Ministry of Commerce for a 2-minute remark. Thank you. Give it up for him.
Okay, thank you very much. As you said, Honorable Director for African Assistant Minister of Business Administration and Commerce. On behalf of Madam Erika Koza, I want to bring you the greetings. And the Ministry of Commerce is committed to supporting this launch. And we extend thanks and appreciation to Honorable Weah and the team for this 5-year strategic plan. But today's occasion, out for one, I take it to be a vicious cycle, and I take it to be a contradiction. When I say the contradiction, I mean from the other end, the most talk about bread and butter issues are being the order of the day. So today's program demonstrates that
Obviously, the bread and butter issue will be taken care of. This strategic plan from now to 2030 is a clear manifestation that the government is committed on resolving the most talked about bread and butter issue. Secondly, let me just inform Honorable Weah that today we have come to join you not to only launch but to also tax you, because we will monitor and see whether the fire strategic plan will really be implemented. And if it is implemented, we say yes, bravo. If it is not, then of course, you will take one of the responsibility of the whole on-crowd bread and butter issue that people from the other end are talking about. Again, let me say thank you very much, and I say my thanks and appreciation on behalf of Madam Margarita and stand with you in implementing this strategic plan. We say the Homeland Ministry is with you, and let me extend many things that appreciation to all the entities that have been represented. And I say thank you very much. Thank you. Honorable Minister, Assistant Minister, Minister comments. Move on to the Minister of Education, one of our key partners and a member of the board, Minister of Education.
Good morning. Please allow me to speak on the existing protocol. On behalf of Dr. Joshua Mara, on behalf of Dr. Joshua Mara Judge, Minister of Education and your team, I bring you warm greetings and extend sincere appreciation to Honorable Serif and his team for developing this 5-year strategic plan. This milestone marks a significant step in the history of this agency and will serve as a guiding framework to achieve its goal. Ensuring humanitarian support for people across all 50 counties of the Republic of Nigeria. The Ministry of Education is proud to collaborate with 3 key partners: the World Food Program, Save the Children International, Meal News Nigeria, in providing needs for approximately 239,468 school children across 1,319 schools in 14 counties. This represents 70% of Nigeria's total population, school-going population. In addition, the government of Nigeria, through the Ministry of Education, has committed to providing school meals for over 27,000 students in 150 schools across 6 counties, namely Masurata, Mandiri, Bon, Lofa, Nema, and Grand Bassa counties. These students were previously supported under the Mercy Homegrown School Feeding Project, funded by USAID, but this program was terminated with the withdrawal of USAID. Yet, despite this achievement, much more remains to be done. The need to expand school feeding program is urgent, as proper nutrition is vital for learning, growth, and the future of our school-going children. Therefore, the Ministry of Education will continue to work hand in hand with NFAA agency to ensure that most students across Nigeria benefit from this school year. Therefore, we can build a stronger foundation for education, health, and national development. Thank you.
Thank you. We're back with time, and we're moving on to Mayor's View. Any representative from Mayor's View come and make a 2-minute remark. Mayor's View, as you walk through, my gestically to this podium, this would have
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I bring you greetings from the Mayor's News family, especially from Paula Mariki, who is the country director for Mayor's News. On behalf of Mary's News, I would like to express our sincere appreciation for the work of the agency in doing to fight hunger and support vulnerable communities. Mary's News is committed to ensuring that every child receives a nutritional daily meal in school, because we believe that a single plate of meal or food changes the life and future of a child. Across many communities, hunger remains one of the biggest barriers to education. When children or a child receive a daily meal, they feel relaxed and happy at school. Through school feeding program, we can address both hunger and education at the same time. Mary's believe that partnership is key. By working together with the National Food Assistance Agency, local communities and schools, we can expand access to reliable school meals and ensure that more children have the opportunity to learn, grow, and succeed. We look forward to strengthening collaboration and supporting initiatives that provide hope, dignity, and opportunity for every child. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You know, in our everyday brainstorm session for resource mobilization to do what we are doing as an institution, we know the partners of both of us. We want to recognize Akim Lebeja at the back there. Thank you for coming. We move on to the issue of justice. We invite Councilor Green.
Thank you, Mr. Master of Ceremony. I am not Councilor Graves. My name is actually Gabriel F. Lucas, Assistant Minister for Rehabilitation, Ministry of Justice. Unlike other institutions, the Ministry of Justice received 2 invitations for this program. So, Councilor N. Oswald designated this morning, Councilor J. Abby Graves, and I also had to come because the National Food Assistance Agency is one of our strategic partners. We bring the greetings from the Ministry of Justice, particularly the Bureau of Corrections and Rehabilitation. The relationship between the NFAA and the Ministry of Justice is easily explained through our responsibility and mandate for care, custody, and control over the inmates population of Liberia. When the NFAA decided to do a stakeholder mapping, sometimes in 2024, the DG Weah said we are looking for those responsible for the inmates, or in our common sense, the prisoners of our country. Then we started a relationship, after which we concentrated some premises, and by the close of 2025, we recorded the National Food Assistance Agency as the biggest arm or entity of the government in terms of donations to the prisons of our country. A few days ago, we gave our appreciation letter to the DG and state for the massive donations to the prisons of our country. Councilor 12 promised the Liberian people and the legislature that he will ensure that no prison will have food shortage, and this has been happening. When we joined him at the ministry, we told our teammates that we will ensure that we improve the quality of food for the inmates at the various 16 prisons, and it is the NFAA that has helped in making sure that the quality today is different from that of yesterday. Thank you. Finally, on behalf of the ministry DG, we bring an appeal from the inmates at our various prisons. It feels good to receive and to say thank you. But the inmates are telling us that it has some potential that we need to explore. As we launch your strategic plan, we pledge to always be with you, just as we did during the drafting and the validation exercises. Our inmates have informed us that they are potential enough in making sure that we make use of the vast land we have operating facilities in this country. So we ask you, your team, and our development partners to kind of look in this direction. We have a test draft at Wonderman Central Prison, where everyday Gandhi has challenged us, and we are doing a big cassava patch. We think we too can also help to produce what we eat, and at the end of the day, form part of what you report to your board and your board. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll now take remark from the LRRC. LRRC. All right. Is that it?
No.
All right. We now take it to Dr. J. Chris Toll, former Minister of Agriculture. And then also the people as well, the Chairman, Dr. Chris Toll.
Thank you. Again, I'm going to be brief. I think most of what I would have said has already been said. First, by the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Weah, which is that having a strategic plan is important, but what is much more important is being able to operationalize that plan. What projects do we have? What programs do we have? And how do we go about mobilizing the resources that are needed to be able to achieve whatsoever outcomes you've established? So it's going to be very important, and also building on what Senator Finley said, it's going to be important that we start to focus now on implementation and the operationalization of this plan. Because I believe that I've tried to follow agricultural development history in this country for some time. The opportunity we have now, the opportunity that we have under the leadership of President Weah is a historic opportunity. If we cannot ensure that agriculture drives economic development in this country, then it's going to take a long, long time before that is done. And so my point is this. As part of this opportunity in this moment, where you now have a strategic plan that has as its theme a pathway to zero hunger, perhaps we should go beyond thinking about how do we ensure that food is available, how do we ensure that food is accessible, that is well utilized. Perhaps we need to raise our aspirations. We need to move this country towards food sovereignty, under which we can define, we can control, and we can govern the food system, whether it's production, whether it's distribution, and whether it is consumption. I firmly believe that we now have and are putting into place what we need to achieve food security. With the plan the Ministry of Agriculture has, including the recently launched corporate strategic plan, with what other ministries are doing, especially in the area of infrastructure, road infrastructure, we now have the template to be able to produce more, to ensuring through the NFAA that food is accessible even to the marginalized and those who are poor. We must now move beyond that. We must start to think, how do we as Liberians define how do we control and how do we govern our production system, our distribution system, and our consumption system. So this is something that we need to focus on. Lastly, I just wanted to say that, Mr. Deputy Minister, that I have told the Director General that, who is a good friend of mine from a long time, that we will continue to support him on a pro bono basis. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That's Dr. J. Crystal from the Republic of Liberia. We now have Councillor Henry Clar from the Access Republic.
Thank you. I wouldn't say all protocol there because I want to particularly recognize the effort of the Weah, the entire team for the great job. Our Weah, the officials of the National Food Assistance Agency, Ambassador Snarai, and all protocols there. I'm happy to be here today based upon the invitation extended to me to join the NFAA in this 5-year strategic program. I have not come here today to identify and to recover assets. I have come to work along and to support in the work that you are doing. But mind you, it should be done in accordance with the law. Because the issue of accountability is a hallmark that we cherish in this country. I want to say that I'm so proud to be here. The mere fact that your strategic plan for 5 years, that alone is a milestone for working towards food sustainability and to ensure the eradication of hunger in Liberia. There are two things that you stress that I must give key attention to: food sustainability and food security. And our veteran in the agri sector talk about food sovereignty. These are the key issues I want to draw your attention to, and I hope that these key issues can serve as a hallmark as we foster your agenda in making sure that Liberia is self-sufficient when it comes to food. We appreciate the fact of all your effort, all your plans, and we want to assure you that on the issue of accountability, we are watching, and we hope that with that also the folks with me will also come in appropriate day and assist. We appreciate you for your invitation extended to us. We say God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councilor Martin, for that brief remark. We crossed over the LFP, but Brother Dalu just arrived, and we will take a remark to the LFP. Let's give WP a round of applause.
Good morning. Sorry, we apologize. We have been in another event where we just start launching the Mpox response for the food assistance to Mpox affected people. So we were there for us. So I was not prepared. I have to be frank. So we have been working as the free and the food security and nutrition, especially the school feeding program, and the home grown school feeding program, where we support children feeding hot meat and from the locally grown food. So which we are trying to really just also linking smallholder farmers where they produce rice and then also cassava where they process gari and then beans and palm oil. And then that's also really contributing the creating market access through school feeding program. So I think this strategic plan will really just help us to give us a direction. So the NFAA are really committed to collaborate with the government for the way forward. So we are always committed and then together with NAPA. So yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, we move on to the National Commission of Disability. National Commission of Disability, NCD. So we will now invite the DGA of FAL, Honorable Project Gray. You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Food Authority. I was looking at the list and I saw that Food Authority was like supposed to be the last. I hope so. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, why are we the last? But I understand why. Oftentimes, since the appointment of the leadership team of Food Authority, whenever I go somewhere, it will be like, oh, did you bring us food? Judges, Food Authority, bring us food. And I always say, no, you guys get this thing wrong. The Food Authority is the regulatory body. Our job is to make sure that food that you consume is healthy, it's good, it's not expired. But I will call my friends at Food Assistance because they're the ones who's supposed to be passing around the food for you to eat. So, Mr. Director General, Honorable Ambassador Snyder, and all of you here today, we stopped by to just congratulate our colleagues here at the Food Assistance. As I look at the goal, a pathway to zero hunger in Liberia. And during the Civil War, the leaves of yam, you know, how it grows on the tree. And one of them saw it and said, that thing down in that yam, let's dig. And they kept digging and they dug and they apparently dug up our whole yard because yam don't easily die. It just expand and expand and expand. And they said that we were so hungry that day looking for food and we ended up in your backyard and we dug up the entire yard and almost everybody at ETMI that was there to displays got something to eat. So I always thought, I was like, you know, when you talk about zero, a pathway to zero hunger in Liberia, what can we do as Liberians? We cannot sit down and always think that food assistance is going to be coming. It's supposed to be coming, but did you get the budget? It's hard, it's expensive. What can we do as Liberians, maybe food assistance? What can you implement? Something that encourages every Liberian, perhaps. They have a backyard garden where nobody go there hungry. But we don't have rice, we can take our cassava, our arrows. We can have a pathway to zero hunger if all of us are part of it. So I want to stop by and give that suggestion, maybe, and I thought about maybe a competition. What would encourage us to do that? Perhaps in smaller communities, community could launch a program where everybody have a backyard garden and get up in here, we can do a research, and maybe give us some prizes as a community for having a backyard garden. It may seem simple, but guess what? With that, everybody will always have something to eat, just from the backyard. So I want to say congratulations to Food Assistance. I really greetings from the Director General, all of us at Food Authority. We are out, we are working with you. We want to encourage us all to be a part of this process so that we all have a country where there is zero hunger in Liberia. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. That's from the Liberia Food Authority. Honorable Jeff Gray, thank you for that brief tonight. We will now call on local government, your representative here from local government. It gladdens our heart again that we say this, that we have the full representation of sectors. WFP arrived, and the team came with the Deputy Country Director, the person of Kesar Tefan, to work out together.
As one of the biggest ministries in this country, Ministry of Local Government, we believe the biggest family group in this country are the local people. So we come for this kind of events, and the issue of local government is not mentioned. Sometimes it plays on your mind. However, my name is Kenny N. Brenner. I'm representing the Minister of Local Government, Mr. Francis Sekelon Imani, who is currently attending the cabinet meeting. Mr. Imani has asked me to extend his thanks and appreciation to the DG for the National Food Assistance Agency. The Minister is particularly pleased because as government, we are very keen on decentralization. So the Minister has asked me to extend his thanks and appreciation to you. In your document, you adhere to the current system of governance in our country that has to do with decentralization. Many may wonder why we are moving from internal affairs to Ministry of Local Government. Currently, as legislator, we are now migrated from Ministry of Internal Affairs to Ministry of Local Government. The key issue that has to do with local government now is decentralization. Many of the time in this country, almost everything happening in Nigeria, we are decentralized in Monrovia. So as leader on decentralization, we are very happy to see in your document the administrative governance of decentralization. Every county is captured in that document. So the minister said that we send the sign of appreciation, who would love to be here, but due to national engagement, we will send all the county. Thank you again, and thank you all for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will call the Ministry of Health. Any representative from the Ministry of Health? Ministry of Health. Okay, stand for. 2 minutes, please.
Good morning to everyone. On behalf of the Minister of Health, Dr. Louis Mandela, today greeting to every one of you. And we are glad to be part of this wonderful program we started last week. And today we are doing the final validation or launching of the program. But one of the major things is we are doing National Food Authority Agency and the Nutrition Division and Food Assistance. The Nutrition Division of the Ministry of Health look at vulnerable group of people, children who are malnourished and also achieving water and women who are breastfeeding. And we pray that our concept should be captured into this launch and for the launch to be able to feed everybody. So we want to say thank you for the launch and we pray that the launch will be implemented.
Thank you very much. That is from the Ministry of Health. LRRC, again, we have representative from LRRC. Matt. Okay, I think the math session will be exhaustive list. So, RRC, is there any representative? Okay, now we invite the National Commission on Disability. National Commission on Disability.
Welcome, everyone. On behalf of the National Commission on Disability, which will extend my attention to the National Food Assistance Agency, once again for you, I know for this 5 days strategic plan workshop. As I said last time, I would like for the National Food Assistance Agency to work in collaboration with the National Commission on Disability so that we can see how bad we can feed better river the December. Many of you here have seen the December, feel badly. When you get it, the streets, I got it, they're begging. When you see them on the street, they're begging for food. So with this, it says, if the white will National Commission of Disability can send our own unit, so that we can be having them from time to time. Again, I thank you for the right now. And the 5-year strategic plan will not be put on the carpet. It will be put into $4 billion. Thank you very much.
I'd like to strengthen the remark. So we will now call on National Disaster Management Agency and representative from that agency. Yes. 2 minutes each. That is the NDMA. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me say our existing protocol to address the platform. I want to take this time to see who after me. I only one person from the head of agency on the National PS daughter who is currently attending another program. But I want to use this time to say to the National Food Assistance Authority or agency that we are working closely with you because we have a lot of fraud victims that will also need a food assistance. So we'll work closely with you to see how best we can address some of this gap. We say thank you once again. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We will invite I had told you that our brainstorming session for resource modernization to do what we're doing. We're not alone in that session. We have partners on board, one of whom happens to be a nutrition access person, in person of Akia Lemberger. Let's put our hands together and have a brief remark today.
That exist that are waiting for our youth. So thank you for hearing me and thank for being the wonderful agency that will produce zero hunger. We know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nakia. And we want to recognize the distinguished presence of Councilor General O'Connor, who is live. We will now invite you for a
Good afternoon. Normally when you go late to church, they don't read the song. So you know what I'm about to sing, a lot of people already will be familiar with it. But distinguished officials, partners, the NFAA family, ladies and gentlemen. So on behalf of the Liberia Victory Repatriation Resettlement Commission, I would like to extend warm congratulations to the National Food Assistance Authority for the launch of this 5-year strategic plan. This important milestone reflects a strong national commitment to strengthening food security and ensuring that vulnerable populations across Liberia have access to safe and reliable food assistance. For institutions like ours that work with migrants, stateless people, refugees, returnees, and even deportees or internally displaced people and other vulnerable communities, food security is not just a humanitarian concern. It is fundamental to dignity, stability, and sustainable reintegration. The work of the NFAA therefore complements the mandate of the NFAA in very meaningful ways. We commend the leadership under Honorable Boga Salif and partners of the authority for developing a strategic roadmap that will guide coordinated action, strengthen institutional capacity, and improve the delivery of food assistance to those who need it most. The NFAA stands ready to collaborate with the NFAA to ensure that displaced and returning populations are effectively integrated into national food assistance programs and broader social protection initiatives. Let me once again congratulate the National Food Assistance Authority on this significant achievement. We wish you great success in implementing this strategic plan for the benefit of the Liberian people. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Mandela. You're in time. You less than 2 minutes you took to give us this brief remark. We will now invite Bonita Roberts, Gender Officer, Weah Expo, 100% Barbarian and African School. Let's put our hands together for Madam Roberts.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. Allow me to stand as assistant protocol. My name is Bonita Roberts. I am Gender Officer for the World Expos and 100% Liberian African School. So, what does the Gender Officer mean? I am for the rule of law, girls' education, and women empowerment. So today, I brought our products. We've been talking about school feeding. I heard NFAA on the radio yesterday on one of our radio stations speaking and specifying. They stressed on school feeding. They also stressed on agricultural projects in the rural areas in schools. My sister there she made mention to having gardens. I think it's a great idea. Also to have a competition in our rural schools. Who can raise the most vegetables for 6 months or whatever, 9 months. And we can award our youngsters and also give them, encourage them into agriculture. Because I believe our way out of poverty in Liberia is through agriculture. So thank you, Weah, thank you, NFAA, for wonderful programs here last week, and I'm happy to be here this week to give you all of our support. We have products in the back, 100% Liberian products, which is produced by women. So as we approach Women's Day, please support the women of Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anita Roberts, Gender Officer, World Expo, the 100% Liberian African store. Thank you for that remark. We will take a remark, special remark from the Deputy Minister of Agriculture. On the way, hey, let's put our hands together for
I'm going to be very short of the ministers. Okay, so just put the 2 minutes. My brother from the Ministry of Finance. The oversight was never intentional. So, openly, I'd like to apologize for not having you to come up here to join us in the launch of the strategic plan. Kindly take my apology. Certainly, I think the issue of this backyard gardening is becoming serious. At the Ministry of Agriculture, we have got a program for carryover that we call the backyard gardening issue. I listened to the gentleman from the Ministry of Justice, Correction Facility, and then I listened to our sister here. So that it plays in my head that I think we need to scale up the issue of backyard gardening in Liberia. And I agree with the Anthony from the Ministry of Justice that though our brothers and sisters are in prison facilities, but have got great potential to do something for themselves. So, as I stated to you, we will be open to meeting with you so that we begin to put some real strategy together as to how we can grow out this area of backyard gardening to our prison facility. In fact, I have been thinking about it to say there is no need to be using government funding to buy rice and other things to feed our inmates. We can use them to make their own little gardens in their area that they will be able to feed themselves out of what we are doing. So like the theme of our development plan says, Liberians, we should be able to feed ourselves. So we are open. I beg you, I want to meet with you. I want to meet with you so that we can begin to talk about how we can scale up this program for everybody across the country. So I just wanted to make those 2 little remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Weah from the Ministry of Agriculture. As we now draw down the curtain of this segment of remark that will bring us to the close of this program, I will leave with us something that we've all been talking about. And that was actually echoed by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, when he spoke to the General Assembly. He said something that I really reflected on. He said, outside of our borders, when there are conflicts, we feel it in our pockets. He made the same mention of the Ukraine and Russia war. When Russia invaded Ukraine, he said every bullet, every shell that was dropped in Ukraine, we felt it in our pockets. What was he saying? He was talking about disruption of food supply chain in our part of the globe, meaning that we heavily depend on imported food. So everything we are saying today, a pathway to zero hunger, we will have to do everything we can in our effort to promote agricultural activity in our country. And this is why NFAA is leveraging on what we call the HGF approach, which is the homegrown feed approach. It will also be rolled out in our schools, which will be the homegrown school feed. And NFAA is very, very intentional of this. I'm going to leave it for us all. All right, and the Liberian Chamber of Commerce just arrived. A representative of the Liberian Chamber of Commerce just arrived, and we know that this is on our board. For Nancy Davis, you're welcome. And Chambers, Liberian Chamber of Commerce is on our board as a member. You're welcome. We want to recognize your presence. Thank you for coming. So, we want to acquire this opportunity in 1 minute to remark. Mr. Davis, we have a remark to be made. You're welcome. If there's anything you want to say, yeah, a brief remark for you. That was me. Thank you.
Good morning to all. All protocols observed. I mean, but this is just like, this is really coming to church late and raising and having to praise. Really. So I can understand. But anyway, first of all, we would like to congratulate the leadership, the board. You know, the chamber is on the board of steering committee of the food assistance program, and we are delighted to have had the opportunity to participate in some of the processes that have led to this day and this validation process. The chamber looks forward to continuing to work with the leadership and the leadership team in terms of moving this process forward. By validating this plan and going forward, we look forward to not only more support from the government in recognizing and further building and strengthening the role of the program within the overall framework of government, but definitely also as we build partnership support to support this process. I know one critical thing that has always been of paramount importance to the chamber and to the chamber as it relates to Liberia business development is further integrating locally produced food within the school feeding program. And we really look forward to that process being driven more significantly as the institution moves forward. What that would do, of course, not just in terms of driving and strengthening and growing the market for local producers, but we hope that will also lead to additional research by some of our different scientists and some of our young people that are coming up that are actually processing food. So we see a little bit more processed and better prepared foods that's leaving the farm and eventually reaching to the tables of not just through the school feeding program, but because of that growth in demand, it could then drive some of that research, which will then further grow interest that then those processed foods can find our way on our tables, and we can see less unprocessed food in the marketplace, because of course that value added will mean additional income to the farmers and to the business people. So congratulations to the team, congratulations to Sirleaf and his team that has been leading this process, and the chamber looks forward to continuing to be a part of this movement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. For that brief remark, we will now call on Madam Annie McKinney-Flo, who will do for us the vote of thanks and announcement. And this is Annie McKinney-Flo, Program Officer, the National Food Assistance Agency. Let's put our hands together.
Good afternoon, everyone. I remember one of my English teachers when he was preparing us for public speech, and he gave us a joke. He said, a man was asked to give a speech, and he took a whole month practicing, but he was a farmer. So he used his garden as the audience. And he was standing before the elderly, the planting, addressed them. The bigger leaf was Mr. President, and the smaller leaf. But by the time he came before the audience, he saw the faces different from the elderly, the pepper leaf. He said the eyes of the elderly and not the same as the eyes of the people. I hope that will not be the case here. The official launch of the National Food Assistance Agency 5-year strategic plan 2026-2030, a pathway to zero hunger in Liberia. The Office of the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Falo Joseph Yumambaka, Senior. The Office of the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Jeremiah Kwanku, the officers of the legislature present here, distinguished partners, development partners, government ministries, agencies and commissions, civil society organizations, the framework of this strategic plan, our own consultant, PSDL, that's the Partnership for Sustainable Development in Liberia. Our distinguished profile guest, distinguished member of NFAA, present here, members of the full estate, all NFAA staff, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited by your presence today to make sure that this day is a success. Today we have all come and we have endorsed the launch of the strategic 5-year strategic plan of the National Food Assistance Agency. It is a call that we all have hands to deck to making sure that we mobilize the funds that are intended for the implementation of the strategic plan. And that's why there is a special call calling on the NFAA, especially the review of the 950,000 that will help us to get it forward as reporting of how to raise the 42 million to ensure that the 5-year strategic plan is implemented. On behalf of the NFAA family headed by Honorable Bagaide Enseli, I've come as the project officer, Annie McKinney-Flo, to say thank you very much. Your presence and contributions will help NFAA to go a long way as we all strive to zero hunger. I know right now everyone is hungry and there's provision to satisfy that. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for your presence and contribution.
Thank you, Madam Annie McKinney-Flo. She's the Program Officer of the National Food Assistance Agency. All right, this brings us to the close of our program. Lunch is ready, and we're starting from the high table here. All right, we will have to do group photo before we start, but lunch is ready. We announce that we'll do group photo. After that, this table first. And then the cable is led by the president's office for the launch, but we can do it in the first.